I'm about to touch the rock, you know.
When you the guy and everybody on the defense know you the guy, it's a wrap.
It just does something to you.
That's a receiver's dream, you know.
Tyler, we can't just let that gloss over. The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. Welcome into the Players Club. I'm London Fletcher, joined by Santana Moss, the Tana Man, and also the man, the myth, the rookie, Jahan Dotson.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Players Club.
Thank you,
buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Man, where do we start? Right from the top. What a debut.
No doubt.
2 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown in your first ever game as a rookie. What was that like for you, being able to do what you did in that first game?
Yeah, you know, it was definitely pretty cool getting those touchdowns under my belt. Been something that I've been thinking about for a really long time, ever since I was a little kid, you know, excelling at this level. I've always wanted to play in the NFL. It's been a dream of mine ever since I touched the football at a very young age. So getting in the end zone, it was kind of like all that hard work, you know, it's finally coming to fruition and finally paying off.
Speaking of that hard work, I remember we had just talked. It was almost like 2 weeks into the preseason, and you hadn't had a touch. And we was like, man, we hope you get a touch. And we saw you get a couple of touches. Fast forward to the first game of the season. Did you imagine yourself having that kind of an outcome so early?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I sat in my bed all week, you know, just thinking about the plays I was gonna make. You know, because I live with one of my roommates back at Penn State, Jesse Lucetta, and he always preached was like, you gotta see it every single day. You gotta think, you gotta visualize it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it. You gotta think about the successful plays that you're gonna make. And I tend to do that all the time, and I just think about the things that I'm gonna do on Sundays.
That's crazy. I ain't want to cut you off, but that's crazy. I want to speak on that because when I was in college, we had a coach that taught us that we wouldn't like on Wednesdays was a core day. So we did straight ab work, but he would put us in a dark room and we lie down on the floor and say, just visualize all the good things you're going to do this week. So I didn't know that you guys was doing that too.
Some of that Phil Jackson type of stuff.
Special, man. Real deal.
Jahan, Julie and I, we interviewed you right after the game, and we talked about, I asked you about the first touchdown you had in the route, and you mentioned just knowing you knew you had the guy, but being patient, to not getting too quick.
Right.
What was going through your mind, you know, when they called that play in the huddle and you knew, okay, this the look, I got this matchup, the coverage that we were predicting.
Right.
What was your mindset as you went through that play?
Yeah, honestly, just a perfect play call by Coach Turner, you know, getting me to be able to isolate me in a one-on-one matchup. And we had the Curtis coming into motion so that the safety would bite down on the run action and basically isolating me in the one-on-one matchup. And, you know, the whole time I'm thinking, I can't be too fast, but you know it's my first time. I feel like I'm about to touch the rock. You know, I want to speed myself up, but just trusting trusting in the process, you know, and trusting in what I do in practice every day, and just being patient in the route. It enabled me to get open, catch the ball for a touchdown.
Speaking of patience, and then not only were you patient, but how key is it to have other playmakers out there with you? Because, you know, I've been in them shoes, and it don't matter how patient I was at times, when you the guy and everybody on the defense know you the guy, it's a wrap. They're going to roll that coverage some kind of way. They're going to make sure that we can, you know, he's not going to beat us. But, you know, that's one of the things I saw coming into this season. Like, damn, not only do we have Terry, we have Curtis healthy, and then we have this kid that I feel like you know, I was speaking about, saying you might have the best hands on the teams. You know, I see you with the ball. I see you doing them. How key is it to have those other guys around, knowing that, you know, any one of us can really be the target, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in the right moment.
It's huge, you know, and you guys kind of saw that a little bit on Sunday. Like, the defense, honestly, they had no answers. They were trying a lot of things for us. They were trying. Yeah. They started out a little bit of man, went to cover 2 almost the rest of the game, tried to go back to man, and they really didn't have an answer for us. Because Curtis was making everybody miss on the defense. Terry hit him over
like
top.
He like to, huh?
Man, it was crazy. You know, they really had no answer for us. So it's huge to have guys like that because it just opens up the playbook. It opens up the field, and a lot of guys can eat.
What goes through your mind? It's the critical moment of the game. 3rd and 8. Scott Turner calls your number. He said, "Hey, this I don't know the play call, but you're the primary, the double move." when you hear that play call and it's like, hey, this is the game winner, potentially the game winner from a touchdown standpoint. What went through your mind when you heard your number being called as a rookie?
Yeah. That's a receiver's dream, to get your number called on in situations like that. And me personally, like I got to come down with it. Yeah. That's all I'm thinking. Like Coach Turner, Carson, they're gonna give me a chance here. I got to make a play for the team. I don't want to let nobody down. I want to make sure that I have a smile walking off my face, walking off the field after the game. So when that ball was in the air, man, there was no way I was letting anybody take it from me. I was going to get it no matter what. Yeah. And I was going to make a play for the team.
That's special, man. That's one of the things that, like you said, any guy in your situation would love to be able to excel, especially coming out the gate like that. We asked you enough questions about that. This whole show can be about just that moment. I mean, I feel like it was that special for you, for the organization. Not only, you the first commander, draft pick, but you go out there and close the game out like that. As, your first game ever. That's special. Bro. We can have a whole show. You know what I'm saying? We can have checkmate. We can have a whole show about that. But let's talk about the preparation throughout the week and some of the things off the field. Like, how did that week go for yourself leading to the game? I'm one of those guys, I get a chance to feel it in practice. Like, man, I know, man, I'm going to get this many reps or, regardless if you're a starter or not, you just know, man, my number going to be called a lot.
Right.
Did you have a chance to, when you got out of practice and you go home and you at the crib, you just sitting back watching TV, are you thinking already, about the game or about the opportunities that may present themselves throughout the games? Because I did it a lot. I'm not sure how many other guys do that.
Yeah, for sure. I go back home, and almost every day I go back home and I watch film with one of my buddies that I live with, and we just go over it, and we're like, yo, like, you go get this opportunity, you go get this opportunity. Like, what you go do with it? Yeah. You got to make the most of it. And so when Sunday comes, like, I'm ready for those opportunities, and every chance I get in practice to touch the rock, man, I'm trying to take it to the house. Yeah. So I practice every day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like I'm going to play on Sunday. So taking those practice reps seriously, it's just big for me.
Just admit, man, it's just something about playing in the state of Maryland. It just does something to you. Ted, I don't know what you did to you know what he did to Maryland.
Yeah, I saw 200-something.
Your last two regular season games in Maryland. Yeah. 5 touchdowns.
You put up numbers, man.
Is it just something about you got something against Maryland you want to get off your chest?
Well, that's great. It's great. It's great because he got a lot of home games here in Maryland.
Oh man, nah, I don't know. I'm just having fun, man. That's all it is to it.
That's good though, man. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. And like, you know what? Like I said, he just talked about having fun. You say you got a roommate, you got a friend of yours. I lived like that for a while too. I had one of my homeboys, one of my closest homeboys. It's crazy that he stays up here now. He lives here. He had his own family, and now, but he actually came up here because of me and a couple of opportunities that opened up for him job wise here. What are some of the things outside of football? What are some of the things you and your homeboy, or whoever it may be up here that's visiting, what are some of the things you partake in outside of football?
Man, I kid you not, we will sit in the crib for hours and just play video games.
Wow.
Like, I got my TV posted up in my kitchen right now. I don't go nowhere. I sit in my kitchen, my fridge right there, the TV right there, the iPad right behind me. Like, I don't go nowhere.
We heard you was a gamer.
Yeah. Well, not that. You got hold on. Wait. Tanner. We can't just let that gloss over. He says in his kitchen. So that means not in the living room.
He ain't got the furniture yet. So he's like, hold on, I got an island right here. I'm gonna put this thing on the island on the counter, and I'm gonna make sure I get.
Do you at least have a comfortable chair?
Yeah, I got a comfortable chair. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a video gamer, Tanner. I don't think Tanner plays much. So what gaming system do you play? What video game do you play?
Yeah, so
or games.
PlayStation 5. Right now, the new 2K came out, new Madden came out. And it's just a little way for us to compete, Like, we're big competitors. Like, me and my boy, we go at it all the time. And it was a big thing that we did in college together. So it's just a way for us to compete. We love winning. So we just go at it.
Hey, I'm going to need you to go. You mentioned Madden. So I'm a legend on Madden. I need you to buy my ticket or
Go
the
ahead.
card or whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead and get both our cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I do believe my son did it enough last year. I got a check from the NFLPA.
Oh, you definitely got
for
to.
being
You got to
used.
check even if you wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You got to check.
I was just wondering why I was getting the check. I'm like, hold on, I got a check for being
Oh
on
yeah,
Madden.
direct deposit too.
Yeah. So go ahead and hit that card up a couple times. Well, they said they're gonna send it anyway. You say right? So,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it probably already hit your check. I mean,
Okay.
hit your account. You just
Okay.
Tanner has so much money he doesn't even
Man, nah, I-
notice the money that comes in.
They say NFL, so I think it's all one big old pot. You know what I mean? Besides sitting in your kitchen, you know you got to get restless of that. You stay not too far. I ain't gonna put that on blast. What restaurants are you liking in that area? Because it's a lot, and I'm always over there, so I know I'm familiar with the area.
Right. Matchbox. Big shout out to Matchbox.
Yeah, Matchbox.
I
is
go there a
spot.
lot. Not gonna lie to you, I eat Popeyes. I'd get Popeyes everywhere I go. So
Well, them genetics better
yeah,
stay
yeah.
Oh
good.
yeah, he's young right now.
You hit a
Yeah,
certain
I'm
number,
young,
boy,
I'm
that's
young.
gonna be a wrap. For
Yeah,
that. You
that's
have
a
to leave.
that's
You
an
gonna
off
cut it
day
out your
thing.
diet.
Yeah, for sure. That's an off day thing. But yeah, Matchbox is big.
Since the tide's pretty good, you have
Since
tried
the Tide, I
that?
never had Since the Tide,
Oh,
but
it's pretty
I heard
good.
it's pretty good. My
Pretty
parents
good.
go there when they come up. So yeah, it's a lot of spots around there though. It's cool.
Still to come on the Players Club. I'm him.
Yeah, I'm him. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
Dancing like he like to, huh?
We can't have you at the Players Club and not talk about that.
Jahan Dotson, the first commander.
Oh, Dotson was the receiver that they wanted. They drafted back to get him. They said this guy comes in ready to contribute.
Blitz for the end zone. Oh, a touchdown! Jahan Dotson, his first NFL touchdown, the Penn State first rounder.
He throws a fade towards Dotson, who fights for it and makes a catch! Unbelievable catch by Dotson! Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
1-0, that's all that matters. On the next one.
Time for the player profile presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. You were born in New Jersey, and then you moved to Pennsylvania. And what grade were you when you moved to Pennsylvania?
Fourth grade?
Fourth grade.
Yeah.
You went to high school in Nazareth, PA. Set school records, Tanner, but the craziest thing is he did it in 3 seasons. So your freshman, sophomore year,
Yep.
you're at Nazareth. Junior year, you moved back to Jersey.
Yep.
And then you came back to Pennsylvania. What was behind the high school experience like for you in terms of playing in Pennsylvania, and then deciding to move back to New Jersey, then saying, "Hey, let me go back to PA." What was that kind of experience like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty cool experience. My first couple years in Pennsylvania, like the talent was crazy. It was actually some of the best talent I've ever played against. We playing against guys like Saquon Barkley, Shane Simpson, Kyle Boney, guys who were all going Division I. So it was definitely pretty cool to go up against talent like that every single week. And then my junior year, Coach Maleo at the Petty Prep School in New Jersey, he gave me an opportunity to come down there. He helped me in my recruiting a lot. And that's pretty much what jump-started my recruiting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he came to my house. One of the best schools in the country academically, bar none. And then he definitely jump-started my recruiting, got me recruited a lot. And then I felt like my senior year, just going back home and spending that last year with my parents was going to be big for me, because I'm big on family. Like my family means everything to me. So spending that last year at home, my parents was big for me, and just having them right there was huge.
You mentioned the recruiting aspect and jump-starting your kind of recruiting aspect. You initially committed to UCLA.
Yep.
Then you decommitted. And you end up choosing Penn State over, was it Ohio State and Michigan? Or
Yeah.
What led to you choosing the Nittany Lions over? I'm an Ohio State fan. I don't know if I've shared this with you.
Okay.
I've shared it with you because you destroyed Sean Wade. But
Yeah.
Sean Wade was going to be a number 1 draft pick until Jahan got a hold of him, and that's another story. But what was it about Penn State that made you say, you know what, this is the school for me over Ohio State and UCLA and Michigan?
Yeah. So I committed to UCLA my senior year of high school. Some things happened, coaching changes, and I kind of just realized like once again, like my family, like that's very far from Pennsylvania to California. So I prayed on it a lot. I really did, and I felt like God was telling me like, stay home. Penn State was the place to go. And I'm a big competitor, you know. I never really shared this. Is crazy. I never really shared this with anyone, but Penn State, our recruiting class 2018, we had the #1 receiver in the country committed there, Justin Shorter. And just the competitor in me, you know, I felt like I got to go there and just prove myself and prove that I'm one of the best receivers.
I'm him.
Yeah, I'm him. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I like that.
So that was a big reason why I went to Penn State, just the competitor in me. And it was close to home, you know. I felt like Pennsylvania always did me well, and just wanted to excel in Pennsylvania.
What are one of your fondest memories at Penn State?
I would honestly say the brotherhood we had. That's something we pride ourselves on at Penn State, just how close we are together. That's what won us a lot of games. Guys is leaving the facility and we go into each other's houses. We stay in each other's house till like 1, 2 a.m., you know. And it's not just 5, 6 guys. It's about 15, 20 of us just chilling, you know. Bonding, enjoying each other's time. So I feel like that was the biggest thing for us at Penn State. The thing that I enjoyed the most is just spending the time with the guys.
You mentioned your family and how close you are to them and how much that meant being there for your senior season in high school. Your mom, during your last year at Penn State, she had her second bout with myeloma, with cancer. Yet you were able to put up these tremendous numbers. How were you able to do that, knowing that she was having her second battle with cancer?
Honestly, God, you know, just praying on it. Praying that my mom was going to be all right. Praying that I could go out there. God gives me the strength to do what I'm able to do, you know. I honestly, I wouldn't say I couldn't do anything without God. He's a big part of my life, a big part of why I am who I am today and why I'm in the predicament I am to take care of my family, you know. I prayed on it a lot. And the passing of my grandmother was big too. Those both things, my mom getting cancer and the passing of my grandmother, those were two vital moments in my life that really made me realize that I'm very fortunate, that family is even more than it ever was, you know. And it just made me closer to my family and made me realize that I got to do this thing.
I was going to comment on and say, you know, not to say that I had that experience before, but just knowing when you're dealing with something tough like that, that's close to you, it almost gives you that extra, you know, to go out there and do. I mean, I'm pretty sure you done played in a moment where it wasn't one of the best situations family-wise, or somebody had, you know, you may have lost someone. I don't know what it is when it comes to stuff like that, and we out there doing what we do for a living.
Right.
It seemed like miraculously we have our best game or our best year. So I can only imagine what you went through, and I'm glad that you able to talk about it, you know, and she able to watch you now on this stage go out here and put up big numbers. What is something, man, that you looking for? And I know all of us don't do this. You know, I'm big on, I'm superstitious as all outdoors, so I don't speak ahead. But if you did, what are some of the things that you're talking to yourself or thinking of, you know, basically leveling up when it comes to your play each and every week?
Just getting better, you know, improving weekly, every single day. I had everyone's right now hyping me up, saying my name, you know, had 2 touchdowns, but I feel like I didn't do anything. You know, I want to go out and have 200 yards against the Lions this week. So that's just my mindset, always just trying to get better, want to be better than I was yesterday. I preach that to myself all the time. So just this week, focusing on this week, forgetting about last week because it's in the past. This is the next obstacle. This is the next thing in front of me. And I just want to make the most of it.
As I think about, speaking of the past, when you got drafted here by Washington, he grew up Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't have you in the Players Club and not talk about that, man. We don't like those Cowboys. We respect them, but we don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, how did you end up being a Cowboys fan growing up in New Jersey? And then did your mind automatically shift? Or were you thinking like, dang, I got drafted by Washington, but it's the first round? Like, what was your mindset?
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Yeah. So growing up, my mom, I was always a mama's boy. My mom, she was huge, like Emmitt Smith fan. So she was just Cowboys fan, and that's how I grew up. I just grew up liking the Cowboys.
Gotcha.
And then once I got to college, it kind of started to fade away a little bit because we got the games on Saturdays, and you got practice pretty much all day Sunday. So I'm really not watching NFL football anymore. And my fanism of a Cowboy kind of just faded away a little bit. But getting drafted here by the Washington Commanders, I knew that I had to turn into a Cowboy killer. Yeah.
Hey, Chad, I
Go in the
got
house and stump on everything that you see with a star on it.
Listen, I got something that neither one of you guys will ever do, and I'm predicting this. Catch passes from a Cowboys quarterback. I caught a couple from Tony Romo. Hey, he throws a nice catchable ball too.
Oh, that's a good one, man. Well, man, you know what? Well, one of the things I want to say, I don't like to be long when it comes to this because you want to keep it, to the thing organic enough where it can flow. As a receiver to another receiver, and you said it was key. All you want to do is get better.
Right.
I want to say continue to do whatever it is that got you here and what allows you to be as calm and collective as you was in that moment. Because moments like that, man, especially the first one, not even having your first touchdown to counter that one with your second one, moments like that are too big for certain guys.
Right.
And it's been something about you since we saw you from day one of how you approach practices, how you react when you in situation in practice. All that stuff has always gave us that sense that you are beyond ready. So continue to do that, man. I applaud you, but I know, you're going to stay calm and collective, level-headed, not too high, not too low, and keep putting up them numbers.
For sure.
We definitely appreciate you coming on here in the Players Club.
Definitely, man.
We look forward to watching you not only against the Lions, but for the rest of this season.
Light them up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Still to come on the Players Club, we were playing there. Barry was on the team at that moment. Dang, I gotta go to this very Saturday, but he retired. So.
I just about to ask you, how was that?
Santana, it's week 2, first road trip of the season, going into Detroit. Man, it's a tough place to play. What's your fondest memories of playing in Detroit?
Well, first of all, I love going to Detroit. I think one of the reasons why I look forward to playing up there, I had a couple of guys I grew up with in high school, and they reside there, and I would always give them tickets for the game. So it was like, okay, this is like my moment to go out there and show off for my fam. You know what I mean? Like, let these boys have a good memory, when I leave here, that at least Tanner came up here and did his part. Because I know they was up there talking noise about me. And they're big-time Miami fans, braggers, so they always going back and forth telling me stories that they talk about my UM days and them just growing up with me and seeing me playing high school. But my fondest memory have to go back to the last time I played there was 2008. I'm not sure if I played there again after 2008, but to me,
No, we did.
We did. See, that go to show you. I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah, you're not going to remember that for obvious reasons.
Yeah, 2008 was the one that stood out to me. It's just it was. I had a great game receiving. I had 100-some yards, plus receiving. But I remember Danny Smith coming to me saying we need a spark. And I believe Detroit was right there. I mean, it could have went any way.
Yep.
And he was like, man, I need you to get one. And he was telling me to get back there at punt return. And I remember talking to family and friends later on after I had ran the punt back. Folks was like, man, when you watching the game, everybody thought it was Randall, so they were just cheering for Randall. And then the reporter or the analyst like, oh wait, that's Santana Moss. So
yeah, I remember that.
That moment right there stood out a lot because that just showed me and showed everybody, man, that I still got it. I can go out here and return punts, even though I hadn't been doing it for a while. But I always pride myself on just coming through for the team and being that kind of guy. But that was one of my
I remember that game, just watching because you notice, hey, punt return team is up, and you see you back there and like, okay, they got Tyler back here, and in the game, it might have been tied or it was a close game, man. They were in the midst of their 19-game losing streak. They hadn't won a game in a while, and we're in there struggling. They had a couple close losses. I'm like, man, we're struggling with the Lions, and I remember that punt return to spark them. I think about my first game playing in Detroit. It was my actually 99. I was playing with the Rams, and I saw the schedule that came out, and we were playing there. Barry was on the team at that moment. I'm like, dang, I gotta go against Barry Saturday, but he retired. So
wow. I just about to ask you, how was that?
Hey, he retired. Man, Barry made a lot of people look bad. It's one of those things where I wish I went against him, but I'm not upset.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you tell me that game didn't go fair for you or go well for you, I wouldn't have fought you.
Right. Yeah.
Knowing that Barry was going to be Barry.
He made a lot of people look bad. We want to thank you guys for watching us on the Players Club. We'll see you next week.